All right, we're gonna let this what you call it? We're gonna let this fill up a bit before I get into depth about what I really want to talk about. Okay, so yeah, feel free to mhm. What's going on over here? Let me go here. What's going on, everybody? I see we got one person joining in right now. I'm actually live right now from China in Guangzhou, to be specific. And what I want to do is just give a general update as to what's going on here currently. I believe the last video I uploaded was about a month ago, and there was two other ones that were 2 months ago, and that was in the prime of everything that was happening here in China. Uh, related to the whole coronavirus outbreak and everything that's going on. Um, so, first of all, what I want to do is I want to get the room filled up a little bit before I start discussing about the crazy shit that's going on here right now, that is pertaining to the foreigners that are living here right now. And I'm talking about things like discrimination, xenophobia, whatever you want to label it as. The thing about news is, of course, there's bullshit news everywhere and a lot of misinformation going on. So I think the most relatable sources, or sorry, the most reliable sources here. If you don't believe me, I'm in China. I can actually step out in my balcony and you can see uh, that I am actually here, and I've been here for about what, like 6 years. Um, yeah, and never really thought about it, but I don't know. It's in my mind like I want to leave now because the true colors, actually the mask or the facade that people are wearing or give you the perceptions of what they might be, but they're really not. Like I said, eventually it will show. So yeah, I kind of learned that from being here. And prior to this, I was in Korea. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think any country is perfect. Every country has a issue, I guess, or maybe, of course, more than one issues, I should say, that they're dealing with domestically. Okay, so yeah, just trying to figure out what the next move is. I think as far as China goes in general, they're kind of pretty much they're going to cause isolation upon themselves due to the things that they're doing. But then again, maybe not, because so many big tech companies and enterprises from US are actually tied up with business in China. And this is my whole thing about like the whole Trump debacle, and the next presidential election in America whatsoever. Like me, I'm not really for any politicians because they're kind of translucent now. You can kind of see through them. Um, like I said, especially growing up in US. I'm not from there originally. I was adopted, but when I was growing up there, I just seen like we have a Democrat in office and he promises the people yada yada, and then they have a Republican Democrat, and the chain of events just continue, and they fill people's hopes up, and in the process they end up fucking the country even more, and they end up fucking the country and the economy as well. Because when has a politician actually done something that they said they were going to do, with an exception of maybe this president? I'm not defending him by any means. He said he was going to bring businesses back to America. He imposed tariffs on China to to try to get US to make money back. But the whole thing that's going on is because we have the extreme parties, the two extreme parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. And as far as the Democrats go, I guess a lot of them are, like I said, they're tied in with businesses in China. And if Trump was to bring those businesses back, then they would lose billions, if not trillions of dollars. So, I was laying in bed one day. It was around what, like like maybe like 03:30, something like that, 3:30 in the morning. And I woke up and I had like this kind of like an epiphany. I was like, fuck. After doing my own little research and digging around and stuff like that, this is just my opinion and my like hypothesis as to what I think is going on, but I'm almost certain. And like I said, we never had a president in the history of presidency in U.S. that has ever been attacked so much as this one. Like I said, don't get me wrong, I'm not defending the man, because obviously he's done some fucked up shit. Okay, but I think if I was to speak as honestly as I could, I think he actually is and was trying to bring businesses from China back to U.S. Because, like I said, the Chinese have money. Even get their money out of China. So I don't know. Like, there's a lot of speculations and conspiracy theories, and things of that nature. Yo, that's crazy. I'm over here talking to like myself and one other person. Uh, Whoever's watching me, feel free to say hello. Say hello to you as well. Hopefully, you're doing all right despite of everything that's going on in the world right now. I genuinely have a compassion for people. Um, I sat here, like I said, in the prime of this time. I kind of sat here and I was like, damn, I can't believe I've been stuck in the house. No, I don't know. They showed me like some kind of contract that would happen, and they just pulled it out of nowhere in case of like an emergency or something like this. If it would have happened, like something on a scale like this, and they said they're willing to pay me my salary, but it's less than 1/4 of my initial salary. Um, yeah, so it's been pretty crazy, and I used to think like, damn, why did I pick this year to finally try to get my shit together? And when the year started, everything just like fucking, the shit hits the fan. The shit hit the fan. So yeah, just trying to figure out what to do. Prior to everything happening, I was going through my own personal problems here. Of course, it was with a girl, and I finally said I had enough and fucking let her go. And everything, I felt great. I was happy. I mean, I'm still good. I'm happy. I'm alive. I'm grateful for the small things. I mean, if this thing doesn't show you something, I mean, I think it should show you that it shows you what we should be grateful for, even the small things, you know. And whoever's watching me right now, honestly, like, I'm not gonna talk here about politics or what I believe in or whatever that's related to China. But I will talk about, because I can't really talk about this stuff while I'm in China. The repercussions are pretty severe, and somebody can fucking come and kick in my door. Yeah, some Chinese milk tea. But however, I do know what I can talk about, and it's currently the things are going on, and there's a lot of things that say that they are credible sources of information, because I've actually had not had I have friends here that are currently going through this um, discrimination, which I find kind of ironic, and in a way is hypocrisy. Okay, let's take it back, what, 2 or 3 months, where the Chinese people that were abroad, they were crying out discrimination and said that they're being picked on, and people were segregating themselves from them, and they wanted, this is the thing, it's like the society now panders for the people that seek pity. Okay, and excuse me, I'm trying to see how I can articulate this without saying the wrong thing. Through my experience here in China, the way that I seen Chinese people, like I said, not all, I don't want to generalize, but majority of the ones that I've seen, they, like, if something was ever happened, they always play the victim. Okay, and now society, in this age of information or whatever, what people do is they pander to the victims, and to me that's bullshit. First of all, for one reason, is because I didn't grow up like that, um, and second of all, it's like place in third place. Okay, so for the Olympians or whatever, like I said, if they finish in first place, they get gold, silver, whatever, bronze medals. Okay, but in China, it would be like this: first place, second place, third place, fourth place, fifth, sixth place, whatever, they all get a medal for participating. And this is something I don't agree with, because this type of thing will cause people to be entitled, mm, make them think they deserve them. And this is one of the reasons I broke up with my ex, because she was one of those type of people. Yeah, she was Chinese, and like I couldn't stand that shit anymore. I don't want to go into too much personal details here, but I pretty much like broke my back for her, lost 3 jobs. Like I was said, I was stupid, blinded, but then something just woke me up, and I said, "Fuck it, I had enough." Don't get me wrong, I did have some good times. We went to Vietnam and spent like 30 days there. Was amazing, but even there, she tried to leave me. Now, like I said, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, it doesn't hurt me to talk about this, but this is not what I came here to talk about. I'm just trying to make things sound relatable as to the initial topic that I want to talk about. So let's go back a little bit. Like I said, and like after I ended it, it felt like the whole like weight that was on my shoulders is just have been taken off, and it's like I could breathe again. Because in Chinese culture, Chinese society, there's so much pressure of their lives. They're forced into marriage early, and things of that nature, due to traditions, customs, the culture, or whatever. And like I said, I can't be like, oh, that's wrong, because it's not my culture. I don't have to agree with it, but I don't have to disrespect it either. It's like, if this is the way they want to do their thing, then let them do it, because they've been doing this, like they've been doing this for over what, like 5,000 years. So it's like, to my personal belief, it's like you're walking with blinders, and you're only told you can see this way. you know so yeah. mm, and the thing is, like I said, it's like I believe I'm an observant type of person. Like I see what's going on. And when I got to US, I was like, shit. I felt like some type of like a reverse culture shock. So I was thinking like, man, what can I do? I just honestly, I felt like I didn't fit in, even though I was amongst uh, how do I say, like, uh, I guess culture and the way we think in a certain aspect, because here is like I said, excuse me, is like I said, here is completely different. Oh shit. But yeah, so in the last few years, I think I became a little bit more observant. I don't care. Like I used to go out, drink, and smoke, and quit smoking now. Haven't drank in a long time. So like, I guess as far as health wise, I'm okay. But yeah, due to the whole coronavirus of it all, um, hold on, what's going on here? Yo, okay, I was just testing. Due to the whole coronavirus thing, the Chinese people were stuck inside where with their significant other or whatever, and now these like divorce courts or whatever they have here, of course there's people that get the fall in love and etc., but majority of the people here, they get married because they get married to please their parents. Okay, so you could possibly end up being with somebody that you don't really care about, and this is what results in divorce, into spouses or whatever cheating on each other. It's like, it's not serious, it's just to satisfy, give the satisfaction to the generations before them. This is the reason that they do it, because the mom and dad says it, and the mom and dad told them to do that, and it's kind of like a repetitive cycle. But I think honestly, like the younger Chinese, like the maybe the generation that's even before me, the kids who are 18, 19 right now, like I'm 30, 32. Okay, so the kids that were maybe like 10, not 10, what am I talking about? 10. Uh, Kids that are about in their, like I said, from maybe 18 to 25, I see they're starting to think a little bit different from the generation that's after them. Um, I think they're opening their mind a little bit more, and I honestly think that has to do a lot with the. Honestly, I don't go out and I never tell a Chinese person, hey, you should live your life like this, you should do that. No, I never do that. People have you know, have the choice to make up their own mind. Of course, I have Chinese friends here right now that don't necessarily agree with the Chinese system. But then again, I suppose a lot of the people have an understanding that they cannot do, uh, how do I say, excuse me, they cannot say what they want to say about the CCP, as long as they're here. Because, like I said, they know the repercussions um, that can come with that. For example, like look at all the people that's been silenced for, trying to give out information about the outbreak before it was like on a global scale. And now, even here, I think the narrative is trying to be flipped, which is, I mean, in my opinion, is ridiculous. So, well, I guess I don't know what time it is now in the States. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Africans are being targeted. Sorry, Africans are being targeted, evicted, and left homeless in China over false coronavirus claims. This is the bullshit that I was talking about. 3 months ago, Chinese people were crying all over social media that they're being discriminated against. People were screaming at them, telling them to get the fuck out of America, Australia, whatever, and take their ass back to China. They were crying, blah, 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 blah. But none of those countries evicted them out of their homes and made them sleep on the street. And there's videos here that are surfacing all over social media right now. This is the thing with technology also. Let me backtrack a little bit. You know, the news or information is a Chinese lady. Like I said, this is not, I'm not speaking to all Chinese. I'm speaking to these particular type of people who think this bullshit is acceptable. And I'd also like to make the statement for the people in America, Australia, whatever, who also did all this shit to the Chinese people. Like, this type of shit is unacceptable. But especially this, where you go to a person's place of residence, evict him, and leave them homeless in a foreign country over false coronavirus claims. This is like inhumane. And I've just seen a lot of African countries are now refusing to give Chinese visas and don't want to do business with them. So imagine if this happens. Okay. First of all, think about something. It hasn't been that long since China opened itself up to the West. I can't remember what the name of the president was that did that. It wasn't Reagan. I can't remember who, kind of, I guess, influenced China, whatever, to try to open up to the West or whatever. Maybe it was. I don't know exactly. Don't quote me on that. So certain individuals are treating the foreign community here, especially the black folks and Africans, whatever, is totally unacceptable. So whatever happens post this whole pandemic or whatever to China, I would actually say that they deserve it. Because if you think you can treat people in these inhumane ways, I mean, it's one thing to tell a person, get your Chinese ass out of America, or get your Chinese ass out of blah, 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 whatever. Okay? But it's another thing for that person, or do you have a coronavirus and then leave them homeless on the street? I mean, that's just fucking ridiculous to me. I'm gonna try to find out like where these folks are, man. If I can do something to help them, I will. But I don't know where this is. I don't know exactly where this is in Guangzhou. I believe this is Guangzhou, like where I live. If this is in Guangzhou, then I think I know. It's like around the area where they have like all these like fake markets where they sell like the knockoff Nikes and Chanel and all the bags and shit. There's a big African community. I shouldn't say African, that's generalizing people. There's a lot of like Kenyans, Nigerians, and people from Ghana, that reside there, and they do business, export. They do export, import business. So if this is the area, I think I want to like go down there and have a chat, because this is fucking ridiculous, man. I talked to my friend. They held him, I guess, in some place for like 4 hours. And the Chinese people were there pointing fingers and taking pictures of them. And I'm not surprised because that's typical behavior. Um, and like I said, this shit is like, I don't know, it gets to me. I don't know what to say. Actually, since I'm on a different time zone, I will jump on this later. Okay, I would jump on. So yeah, hopefully I'll catch you guys later. Okay, take care.